Bluegrass Unlimited magazine, and we're going to look at 8 More Miles to Louisville on the mandolin. And that was kind of the solo that I'm going to go over. And the first thing I'm going to do is the first thing I would do if I was going to learn a new song on any instrument. I'm going to look at the melody, okay? And so the melody would look something like this. Pretty straightforward, doing the key of G, and the melody's kind of simple, and it gives us a lot of opportunities to do different kind of things. Now the thing I'm going to try to do with this a lot is what we call folded scales. But first, again, I'm going to look at that melody in terms of what is the different pieces and how you put that together. If we look at just the first part, we're going to go. And you remember back when we did the video on symmetry in music, that's a perfect example of a mirror symmetry, because I'm walking right up the scale, hit that C note, and I walk right back down the same exact notes. So if you look at that C note as kind of like a mirror, you're walking up to that mirror and reflecting back the same exact way. Okay? Then we do it again. Just do the same thing but with a little change. And when we've talked about parts of the song, that first little bit we're going to call the theme, and the next little bit we're going to call the answer to the theme, and the answer to the theme a lot of times is almost exactly identical to the theme. So that's what we got here. And then we got... Now that is what we call translational symmetry, where I'm taking this lick, and I'm going down one note of the scale, and I'm playing the exact same lick relative to the new starting point. You can hear that. Okay, those two licks are the same, but just translated one note off. Okay, and the reason I look at this stuff, and it gets the song in my head better. And also, if I get in the head and I say, okay, this starts out with 2 mirror reflections, and then it goes into this transitional or translational symmetry move, then when I go to memorize it, it's easier. When I go to change keys on it, it's easier because I've got a sense of what's going on with the melody. Okay? And I want to look at the chords as well. And the chords here, we're going to change like every half measure. It's going to go so it's G, D, G, C, G, D, G. Okay? And this gives me another clue, because when the rhythm changes that quickly, like in the A part of Blackberry Blossom or the B part of Whiskey Before Breakfast, I know that my folded scales will fit really well. And we've done videos on folded scales, so I'm not going to go through exactly what that's all about. But I know, because of the symmetry and because of the chord changes, I just know from experience that folded scales are going to work really well over this tune. So when I start the tune, lead in to do, I'm just going to do a folded scale run over that. So it's going to go. And so I'm taking this pattern, hear that pattern, now I'm going up a note, and then up a note, and then landing on that C. Okay? So I've taken this 4-note pattern, and I've repeated it 3 times, but each time I walk up the scale. And that's kind of like the definition of a folded scale. If you look at our folded scale videos that I put online when we talked about specifically folded scale. There's lots of folded scale patterns. We also call them scale spirals because the way you take a pattern you walk up the scale or down the scale, play the same relative pattern, walk up the scale or down the scale, play the same relative pattern. That's what I'm doing here. So that whole part is just a folded scale pattern. And then I'm going to repeat it, because the melody repeats after I do this pattern. And again, that's a folded scale pattern. Played twice. And then landed on my G. So I play that folded scale pattern twice. So then that part's going to go. So that's two different folded scales. Then I go back to the original folded scale because the melody repeats. And then I'm going to end because that's what the melody does. I'm just playing the melody there. I'm not really doing any kind of scale move. I'm just copying the melody and adding that slide. So then the next part of the melody goes. Again, that's that translational symmetry there. And I can go. So I know I got translational symmetry, so I'm playing, again, two folded scale patterns, and folded scales are basically translational symmetry too, because you're taking a pattern and then you're moving that same pattern starting on a different root note of the pattern. So, and then I'm going to do another little folded scale, but cut it short. Just because that fits, I start the folded scale pattern, and then I just stop there because that's the way the melody goes. I can't repeat the folded scale pattern. I'm just playing one, and then we're back to the original pattern. It ends the same way as the first part begins. So there's an example, a real good example of how you can fit these folded scale patterns and take a simple melody and beef it up. And it's not that difficult if you've practiced folded scale patterns. You can easily come up with something that will fit around a melody, especially a song like 8 More Miles to Louisville that has this mirror and translational symmetry and the quick chord changes, which all that lends itself very nicely to folded scale patterns. Okay, so work that out, practice that, see if you can use it on other tunes, and we'll get back with you next time with something different. It's Dan Miller for Bluegrass Unlimited magazine. Thanks.